Hello guys, and welcome to a new video of the most beautiful music instrument there is, the crypto violin. First of all, I want to start this video by thanking you all for subscribing and massively liking and commenting on my videos. I'm very happy because yesterday I had 24 subscribers and now I have almost 40 subscribers. I'm very happy. Thank you all for the support you give me, and please, if you want to be updated and if you like the videos and the content I'm providing, please consider subscribing and liking my video. Thank you, and let's dive into the beautiful content I have today. So guys, this is the first article I want to talk with you about. It's from the Daily Hodl, and this is an article from May 14th, 2020, and the article states, XRP can replace cross-border behemoth SWIFT, says Ripple founder Chris Larsen. Ripple founder Chris Larsen says the San Francisco startup is positioning XRP to replace SWIFT, the legacy international payments network used by more than 11,000 banks and financial institutions. In a new interview by the Blockstar podcast, Larsen says he doubts banks will ever trust Bitcoin's proof-of-work system for validating transactions. He points to the risk of a 51% attack, in which a miner or mining pool gains more than 50% of the network hash rate in order to rewrite the ledger and double spend prior transactions. As a reason, banks may find Bitcoin too risky for settlements. Guys, this is old news. We knew Bitcoin is too slow, too expensive, and it's actually a risky there's a high risk of a 50% attack. So these things we already know. We read further. The miners can rewrite history. So that's why I think you probably won't see proof of work models be the guts of the global financial system to take place SWIFT and correspondent banking, for example. Whereas I think XRP ledger, I think is already proving to be, can be the replacement to that existing inefficient system. So, read further. According to Crypto 51, which tracks the theoretical cost of 51% attacks on blockchain networks, it would cost currently $334,703 an hour to gather enough computer power to take over the Bitcoin ledger. So theoretically, it's possible. XRP cannot be mined and relies on an entirely different protocol to achieve consensus. Instead, Ripple controls a list of recommended validators that are trusted to process transactions. Ripple says it one day plans to remove its control over the list, which has fueled accusations that the XRP ledger is centralized. Well guys, so my point of view of this is they have this beautiful article where Chris Larsen states that they can take over SWIFT, and the only thing people are reading, or the only thing people can... So guys, my point of view here is we have a very beautiful article where Chris Larsen states that he thinks Ripple and together with XRP can take over SWIFT in a more efficient, faster and cheaper way. And people just struggle to see this and start to fuel accusations that the XRP ledger is centralized. Guys, read the article here. Ripple says it one day plans to remove its control over this. So actually, my point of view, the XRP ledger is not centralized. It's getting more and more decentralized every day. And even if it's centralized, then Ripple will make sure it removes its control. So why are we crying? Okay, we read further. Larsen says Ripple decided to pivot to an enterprise-focused company early on, and SWIFT remains its primary target. Here you have it, guys. Primary target. I think we started out as kind of a consumer-based company. We quickly solved through that to really have maximum impact. Being an enterprise company that worked with the existing financial players and new challengers to the financial system was going to be much more successful. because these were organizations that already had hundreds of millions of customers and had this fundamental problem. In many ways, maybe 80% of what they're doing was just fine, did not have to change. But there was this one key component of cross-border payments which was fundamentally broken because they were dependent on the system built in the 70s. SWIFT and this asynchronous SWIFT correspondent banking system, which is just a nightmare. So guys, here you have it. Chris Larsen states that SWIFT's correspondent banking system is just a nightmare. Above this, Larsen states that Ripple's primary target remains SWIFT. So it is very interesting, guys. Let's continue to the next video, because I want to show you guys a video of Brett Garlinghouse being interviewed by CNBC International together with CEO of SWIFT, Gottfried Leibrand. So those are two big CEOs, and this is a very interesting actually interview. And before we get into the interview, this link I will share also down in the description, and this is from cryptogazette.com, and the article states Ripple's Brett Garlinghouse offers a job to SWIFT's retiring CEO Gottfried Leibrand. Okay, we will watch the video.
Right. Excited for this panel. This is going to be very interesting discussion, debate. We've encouraged lively, respectful debate here with both of you. Great lineup. Great to have you both on stage. I believe for the first time appearing together here.
Yes.
So we have Gottfried Leibrand, CEO of SWIFT, and Brett Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. I'm going to jump right into it with a big picture question. We're at a fintech conference here. Start with you, Gottfried. Why is SWIFT the future of cross-border payments?
Why is SWIFT the future of cross-border payments? Because two answers. I think one is because we have 10,000 banks on the network, and that I think is a resilient system, correspondent banking. And the other reason is we're innovating like crazy. So the big, and I'm quite proud of that, the big innovation that we introduced 3 years ago, called GPI, Global Payments Innovation, which really takes correspondent banking into the 21st century. Essentially, we introduced a unique identifier for each payment, so you can now track your payments all the way through. We provided a set of rules for speed, and we provided transparency on the pricing. That has greatly enhanced the experience for customers. That's what it's all about. I was in China last week, not the week before last week was Switzerland, where the Chinese banks tell me every payment we now send to the US is there within minutes. So yeah, it's nice that you have tracking, but actually...
So very nice, within minutes. Actually, that still is not enough to compete with XRP. And actually, he gives two reasons: because SWIFT works with over 10,000 banks, and they innovate like crazy, guys. That are two non-reasons. That's just nonsense to me. But okay, let's continue. That's not the right answer to the question. But let's continue.
Cross-border payments really has improved. The same I hear from corporates. We can now track it, it's transparent, etc. And I think the other great news is that because we already have the network, we can roll it out, make it backward compatible, etc. So we now have more than half the payments globally are on that new platform. Most of those arrive within half an hour, end-to-end, customer to customer. We've signed up about over 400 banks. All of the top 60 are on there.
So guys, sorry that I'm interrupting the video the whole time, but customer to customer, half an hour. Guys, half an hour. Ripple settles in seconds, okay? I want you to remember this. This guy is proudly here telling us that his system is fast, within minutes, within half an hour. Well, it cannot never compete.
Are basically looking towards general adoption in another year and a half. And then the whole of correspondent banking will be on that new platform. People will be able to track it. It will be fast, and it will be transparent. And with that, you get all the benefits of the existing model, which is bank-centric, deep liquidity, with all the controls that the banks have built around it, KYC, sanction screening, and all of the compliance controls that go with it. So I'm extremely excited about it, and I think, I do, of course, have to acknowledge competition, which is always good. I don't think we could have done this without competition making it clear to the banks that they need to shape up their acts, so that we did jointly with them. We could also not have done it without the new technology. API for us is the big technology that made this possible, which is under the hood. And with that, I am really looking at cross-border payments and our banking community for another 100 years of resilient and good experience for customers.
So another 100 years, he states. Okay, guys. So he says here, good competition. We couldn't achieve this innovation by good competition. So if SWIFT, that has over 11,000 financial institutions and banks that are working with SWIFT, is saying that Ripple is a good competition, then really you know what time it is. That Ripple is really a very good competition. So if even SWIFT is stating this, then we have something very beautiful here. We listen now to Brett Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple.
What do you have to say to that?
Well, I think we are moving into a new world order. I think the Internet of Value.
New world order, guys. Remember.
Ripple talks a lot about what payments look like, not just, today, but in 10, 20 years. And when we think about that, we talk about this Internet of Value. How do we let value move the way information moves today? I think about the dynamic between Ripple and Swift, not dissimilar to the dynamic between, when Amazon in 1997, 1998, and you got Walmart. Certainly it's a David and Goliath kind of classic story. I think that the challenge is you're dealing with, when Ripple thinks about the future of the Internet of Value, really democratizing payments, reducing costs dramatically, increasing speed dramatically, we're really thinking about it the same way we introduced new technologies like TCP/IP and HTTP that became the Internet of Information. When we talk about what the SWIFT network is today, it's kind of a closed network. It has a lot of members on it for sure, but AOL had a lot of members. And when we moved into the age of the Internet and a decentralized, democratic network, I think that what you're seeing introduced with blockchain technologies, and by the way, it's not just Ripple. When we think about interoperability, we think about interoperability between many blockchains. And I think that the future we see is certainly one of many networks, interoperable networks, and reducing the friction of those payments to close to zero. And I think you're going to see a lot of innovation spawn from that, part from Ripple and part from an entire ecosystem. So I'll also agree very much with what Godfrey said at the end. Competition has clearly been a good thing for Swift. I think that I do think what has happened at GPI is a big step forward. For 40 plus years, we had a construct around how cross-border correspondent banking worked. It worked, but it had a lot of limitations. We're seeing that move forward, but I think it's a step forward when you're switching from kind of, if I may, horse and buggy to, hey, can we make the horse and buggy go faster? Sure, but if we can actually just move to a Ferrari, let's do that.
Boom! I take that, guys. I will move to a Ferrari. We will move to a Ferrari. That's that. So, guys, can you imagine? Brett Garlinghouse just compared Swift to a horse and buggy and compared Ripple to a Ferrari. That's beautiful. That's hilarious. Okay, guys, we continue to the last article I want to share with you guys. And this is actually also a very old article. It's from February the 2nd from 2018. And why I'm sharing this old ass articles with you guys, not because that I have old news, but there are very interesting things in this article. So this is from the bitcoinist.com, and I will scroll down all the way and see we will read here what this article says. It states, what are Ripple's prospects? Taking into account the limited nature of XRP, only 100 billion, and the volume of transactions through SWIFT, we get an $153 trillion market. If all the volume is stored in XRP, not including funds used to create the wallets and which are not in circulation, well, actually we know that they're also going to be in circulation, but that doesn't really matter. The value of each of the 100 billion XRP tokens would be $1,530. $1,530. Guys, here in this article, they're doing a very small calculation where I end up at $1,530. But they forget one thing. Every time XRP is being used, a small portion of this XRP is being burned. On the other hand, lots of people are holding XRP, and also financial institutions, they're holding XRP. They're not willing to sell XRP, and of course above this there are also XRP that are being lost because people, they forgot their private keys, they lost their XRP. That's also possible. So this number, the 1,530, can only be more only if Ripple fully takes over SWIFT and all the transactions go through XRP. Well guys, this was the price prediction of today, $1,530. I will take that all day long. I hope you guys will too also. I hope you filled up your bags for XRP because we're about to go to the moon and buy ourselves a Ferrari. So sorry Moon Lambo, but we will go to the moon and buy a Ferrari. Thank you all for watching my videos. If you like the content I'm providing, please consider liking and subscribing. I love you guys. Thank you for watching my videos and see you in the next video. Bye.